Now that we've set up a dealer admin account on my BakPak and we have registered a network patroller, we are going to add users as well as provide them permissions for specific patrollers or specific actions on the patrollers. So first step is click on Administration from the dashboard. Once you're on the Administration menu options, you're going to select Account Permissions. On this Account Permissions page, you have the ability to add a group or create a group. So we're going to go ahead and just call this group Technician Access, and it provides you with the patrollers available to select and provide access to, and then click on the Create button. Once you click on Create and you click on the Technician Access group, you can see the patrollers that are accessible. Now we're going to click on this middle icon for Add Edit Users. And then we're going to click on the blue plus sign icon to create a user or add a new customer. So you will enter in the first name, last name, email address, and the password that you'd prefer to get them access to their My BakPak account. And then you're going to put an expiration date. Maybe you want them to have access for a month, for a year. You're just going to provide an expiration date. Go ahead and click on OK. And now we have our added user to the Technician Management group. If we go back to Accounts and Permissions, and we want to edit this existing group, you still see that the available patroller is Training Rec 2, and now we're going to add our new user. So once we edit and add this user, we're going to create. So now if we click on the Technician Access group, we see the patrollers attached, and we see the users attached to the group. Now we're going to go back to Administration. We're going to select Accounts and Permissions, and now we're going to click on the Edit Group Permissions. You have 4 different categories. You have Global, Patrollers, Devices, and Ports. So the same options are available for each of these. However, it depends on how much accessibility you want to provide for your technician or for your user or your group. So if you go to Global, you have General, which is just general access to a general group. This either allows or denies access to these specific options on the mybakpak.com account once they log in. And if you go to Profile, this is going to be per NP36 profile if you want them to have the ability to add, edit, or remove them or deny that ability altogether, so they cannot make any major changes. And the device, so this is if you're trying to provide them access per device. And again, this is still under Global, so you can allow them to add, edit, remove. Maybe you don't want them to remove anything, so you deny access for this. And then if they want to update any of the hardware, and then also the portal access. And if you go to Rebooting, this is primarily for the different hardware devices again. So you have your access point reboot, router, switch, and your power distribution units. Then you have your power control, which is for your PoE ports. So if you want to provide them access to specific PoE ports, or if you want them to have access to all PoE PDO outlets, then you can again either allow or deny access on this. Now, if you only want them to have this access for specific patrollers, if you have multiple patrollers available under this particular group, then you can select the patroller that you want them to have access for these abilities, and then you can go through the same thing. You can either use the global permission already set, or you can allow or deny access. So it provides the same options as the global, again, but this is per specific patroller. So if you only want them to have these abilities for specific patrollers, you just select that patroller and then apply the change. Now on the devices, you're providing more specific access. So you want to select the patroller, and this is again going to be based off the available patrollers. It's going to populate the device available, so you select a device, and then for that particular device, you're giving specific access. So whether you want to apply the patroller permission you've set, or you want to override that and you want to allow or deny specific access for that device. And then same thing with the rebooting as well as the power control. And then if you wanted to do it for another device, again, you just click on that specific device and you apply any specific accessibility you either want them to have or not want them to have. We also get as specific as going directly to the ports for the devices. So if you're going to do your SX24P and you wanted to select specific ports for them to only have specific access to, you can select the outlet or port and you can specify what type of power control you want them to have for these specific devices. So if you had your third-party PDU, for instance, the rack link, because it is a power distribution unit, you do have the ability for power control. So another option for allow, deny, or use device permission from this previous setting for the PRE controls that you want to provide for the technician access group. So as a recap, what we did today is we walked through how to add a group to your mybakpak.com, how to add a user into that specific group, and then clicking on account permissions, and then going to your accounts and permissions and providing any specific permission access for your patrollers, devices, or specific ports on devices. Thank you.